There we go, and good evening, everybody. Welcome. This is Night Rights. I am Jax Wolf. I am a fantasy author, and you are here with me for the next goodness knows how long, just vibing and writing along. If you've never been to Night Rights, the concept is pretty simple. If you're on Blue Sky right now, I would recommend clicking that little link that you see right underneath the little player right there, or text, I don't even remember. It's been a long week, I will explain later. But the link will take you to an open chat, and when I say open, I mean you can say whatever you'd like in chat, and I will read it and respond to it. The only things that you're not allowed to do are violate YouTube TOS or make everybody uncomfortable. But don't worry, most people, so long as you're not like a creeper or anything, you'll be fine. We do have an icebreaker to help folks ease into the entire chatting thing. The icebreaker tends to be a writing question of some sort. It's to help you talk about yourself, your writing process, your writing projects, whatever you like. Tonight's icebreaker is, how do you motivate yourself to write? Do you use prizes? Do you use goalposts? What do you usually do? That said, while you mill on that, in about less than 30 minutes actually, we will begin the first of 3 word sprints. Word sprints are pretty simple and straightforward if you've never heard of those either. Traditionally, in most writing circles, a word sprint is a period of productivity. You'll see in the upper left-hand corner of your screen, ours are going to be 20 minutes long. And during those 20 minutes, the idea is that you're supposed to write for as much as you can, and then at the very end you stop and you count up how many words you did and submit it for review and cheering on. By submit, I mean your word count. Now, we do take things a little bit looser here. You can write, you can also edit, you can chill out, you can vibe, you can do laundry as some folks do, whatever you'd like to do. So long as you're doing something to improve your life during those 20 minutes. And like I said, we do have a break after those 20 minutes to talk about our progress and to shoot the breeze. And then after those breaks, which are usually 15 minutes, as you can also see in your top left, then we'll start in on our second sprint. And we do that a total of 3 times. 3 or 4 times. The Saturday morning sprints can be a little bit longer, but tonight's sprint is going to be strictly 3 times, and I will tell you why. But at the end of the 3rd sprint, then we wrap things up, say goodnight, and that will be that. But the reason why it's going to be 3 sprinter for certain is because I am still recovering from quite a week. Now, you'll know that last week was rough on me. I had to cancel Night Rights. Because Dipshit X had done a thing and basically tanked both our credits, I assume, because we're both on the thing that he was supposed to pay for and didn't. But it was like, that was the first bit where I kind of like, he took an entire 2 years of hard work and just threw it right out the window in one fell swoop for me. And it was great. Then the blizzard happened over the weekend, and I didn't sleep at all. From the last time that I'd slept for a period was, I did not sleep. Okay, to be more accurate, I did not sleep from Sunday at noon all the way until last night at midnight. It was bad. I had maybe a few hours here and there, but for 2 straight days, I just could not do anything. Now, I did sleep through last night, so I am slowly recovering, but I am going to be employing healthier sleep habits, and tomorrow, Sleep Clinic had reached out to me and left me a voicemail, unfortunately. So tomorrow I'm going to have to call them back and arrange for something. But also tomorrow, it's going to be the start of some very long days because I had the audacity to take off yesterday, which meant work piled up, and it's going to be a rough go trying to untangle everything. Stress is a huge part of my life and has been for the past several years. And it's difficult because every time that I feel like I'm making some sort of progress, it turns out that I'm not. Um, and today I actually had to reach out to my landlord because I noticed that there was some kind of weird black stuff coming out of the radiator. Turns out that for some reason I hadn't noticed that in move-in, so actually I'm fine, because if it was mold I would know by now. But it's been old, and there was drips, and I don't know what to say, but landlord and I are working on that. And on top of that, the insomnia was caused a little bit by stress, but also a little bit by some health conditions I've been dealing with. Not related to the radiator, that's just like a side problem. But it was really difficult to sleep because I was in pain and I was stressed out, like very to the most, the pinnacle of stressed out that I've ever been in, that I've been in a while, really. And unfortunately, I can't really take a break. Partly because I have to continue to make overtime and make money in order to pay down the mountain of debt I still have thanks to my Genius X. And partly because I don't really have too much else of a choice. I don't have too much BTO. This company just does not want to give me anything. Part of me almost wants to quit and just sort of survive off of what I can until I get back on my feet again, because this job might literally be killing me. But I know that's all negative, and I'm sorry. But long story short, it's been pretty rough. It's been a rough week. Hopefully things will get better. Hopefully I'll be a-okay the rest of the week. Like all the pains that I've been suffering, that some of them are going away. Others are kind of like, well, is it because I didn't sleep enough these past 2 days and now my body is kind of like shuddering and trying to push through? But we'll figure things out little by little, and we'll pace ourselves and just keep on moving forward, I guess, as Dory says. But that's what's up. But also, on a more positive note, happy Wispit, everybody. Today's Wispit has been quite interesting. I pitched both TNS and Bohemia, and I don't know if folks are just burned out from seeing TNS every single pitch event or what. It's still doing well. It's still like at 60 reactions, I do believe. Last I checked, I haven't really been paying too much attention because I've been so busy working today. But Bohemia is shockingly over 100 reactions and, well, actually over 100 likes, and I haven't really looked at, I can't really do math right now to figure out how many reposts and replies it has, but a lot of people are really into bees, apparently, or at least for this particular pitch event. And I'm so delighted that folks are really into bees, because as much as I like Mick and Eleanor's story, I am very excited for the fact that I created this entire fantasy race, and I do want to tell more stories about them. They're very cute, and they're very fuzzy, and they're just full of detail already. Like, I definitely took off and went off running with them this summer and fall, just building them, and I'm so proud of them. And I feel like Bohemia, though they'll make an appearance in TNS, like in fact, I'm just a couple chapters away from bringing in the Saint Nadia colony into TNS and finally having that bee dragon politics that I really wanted. But I feel like Bohemia is their story. Like it's going to be about bee politics. It's going to be about bee immigration and bee culture and a bee detective, and it's going to be so much fun to write. I still have to work out a lot of kinks with the outline. I'm not super happy with where it went, but I'm gonna have to reread the Story of Scandal in Bohemia, maybe a couple more Sherlock Holmes novels, stories, and just sort of like redo that outline. But even in its roughest state, I like the characters that are involved with it. I like where it's going to be going. So I'm super excited about it. I cannot wait to introduce people to the Zizun, like in their own book. So, in any case, I've neglected the chat for a little bit, so let me go through. Cryptic has walked in and said hello. Companion Wolf says, hello, I'm furious I accidentally deleted a 98GB game off my Steam Deck, so now I have to re-download and reset up the mod launcher for it. Fury and Rage, how are you? I do hope that that's going to be less painful than it sounds, but I send my condolences about how you accidentally deleted that off of your Steam Deck. It's I know that the download is that the mod stuff especially is a headache to sort through, so I wish you the best of luck. Cryptic says, oof, I'm tired and hoping my brain will let me write tonight, but no guarantees. Same here. Like, I will say this, after I finally broke the curse of whatever went down the past on Sunday over Monday and Monday over Tuesday, after I finally got sleep, I'm starting to feel like a normal person, but like I still feel a little bit of I need to get just a little bit more sleep before I'm back where I normally am. I am looking forward to that. One thing that I've just really taken an assessment of going through all this stuff. In fact, tonight, as I was looking at that weird spot on the radiator and looking at the pictures that I took and the videos that I took while touring the apartment and realizing that the black spot on the radiator had always fucking been there, I realized that a lot of the things I've been freaking out about aren't as bad as I think that they are. Like, sure, my credit took a hit, but I worked it up from where it is now to where the lofty position it had been before dipshit decided to be a fuckface, to decide to be an absolute deadbeat, and I can do it again, and honestly I can do it faster because I have less to pay for. I don't have that one thing that he didn't pay for dragging me down whenever it starts to get closed or whenever he misses a payment or whatever, whatnot. So I did put together a plan and I can get it back up to where it was in 9 months, and that's not going to be bad. And when it comes to health, I found a good doctor and we're working out a plan and things will be fine there. And when it comes to stuff at home, I just need to take better care of myself. Like, I feel like shit a lot, but I've also let myself go, and in more ways than one. And it's like, I just have to pull myself back together and put myself, or like clean up my room, clean out the dust that might be causing allergic reactions, uh, get better sleep, don't stay up until 3 a.m. every night, and just sort of like get things together. Like, and when it comes to work, I don't know, that's the one thing that I can't really push back on and rein in, because that's going to be what it is. It's going to be hard. It's going to be a mountain constantly. It's going to be deadline after deadline, but I just have to kind of like take a deep breath and just keep on doing it. I've been doing it for 2 years now. I can keep on doing it for as long as I need. But, yeah. It's hard, but we'll get through it. Or at least, so Benjamin tells me. I know this is gonna sound crazy, but I talk to Benjamin sometimes. Like, I give him little voices and he gives me the advice that I know internally, but I take better whenever it's from somebody else, you know? And, you know, he tells me, don't worry about things. You're worrying over nothing. It's not, that isn't mold, and you can get back to where you were and just take one thing at a time. Only in squeakier voices because he's a tiny bee. But, the point is, I've talked about a lot of this stuff to Benjamin, and it will be, it will be getting better. We just have to pace ourselves and just keep on going. Sorry for that going off topic right there, but I hope that you can also write tonight, Cryptic. We're going to see how well we both do, because I am still a little bit tired. Mott the Paladin says, sorry you're having such a bad week. Also been an awful month here, which is why I'm so excited to have writing with people time. Hell yeah. I am delighted that you're here with us and that you shall sit here and relax and write. I do hope that this will help you as well, and I'm sorry that you've been having an awful month as well. Feel free to vent about it in the chat if you feel comfortable with it. We're all here to support each other. Companion Wolf says hug the jacks. I say hug back. Companion Wolf says I want to work on plotting for the sci-fi concept I got from a dream recently. Mott says, ooh, idea from a dream. Love those. I seconded that. Like, hell yeah to dream stuff. Sorry, just had to pause to take a look at some messages. But honestly, dreams are such a good inspiration, jumping off point, I guess. You can get some of the craziest ideas from those. So, do tell about this dream plot. And Sin says, you sound much more rested today. I do feel rested. I actually did sleep nearly through the night. I did wake up a couple of times because for some reason there was construction outside. I don't know why there was construction in the middle of the night, or maybe it was a truck. I don't know. But in any case, it was quite fun. But I did fall back asleep pretty quickly afterwards, so there was improvement. I just have to keep that up for a little bit longer. Like, just keep that up until I can feel fully recovered. I don't know when that will be, but I feel like better sleep habits are just like a thing that I've been meaning to do, and I haven't done it properly, especially during the weekdays. Like, I don't know what's wrong with me, but when you know that you have to work at 9 a.m. and you're up until 3 a.m., like, you're just doing it to yourself. But I'm going to make a vow, now at least, that I am not going to stay up until ungodly o'clock. I did not get the melatonin gummies because I just slept so well. I know that I'm resisting. I should have them on hand anyway, but I will get them on the next grocery run. Uh, but for now, I know that for the rest of the week, I'm just going to do chamomile tea at least an hour before I have to go to bed, and then just conk out because that stuff really helped me out. So. Companion Wolf says, I don't have a proper elevator pitch sentence made for the sci-fi story quite yet, but one sec. Looking forward to it, especially since it is currently 8:50, so this is a good time to tell us about what you're working on. Cryptic says, my melatonin gummies seem to not be helping me anymore, so I'm taking a break and suffering. Ouch. Or it just means that you need to up your dose. But I guess letting your body reset is a good idea too now and then. Because the irony of living in so I work in a medical field. I come from a medical family, and yet I'm so very resistant to taking medicine or any kind of like even herbal supplements, even though I just said chamomile tea. And it's because I always kind of feel like the body is a delicate balance, and sometimes it does need to be like reset. So Sin says we can encourage you to go to bed when we go to bed. No worries. I would actually appreciate that. Like, just tell me, Zara, go to bed. Or even like before, because I do live 1 hour ahead of you guys. So Cryptic says, I have like 12 different things I might bounce around between. It would be the second time I've upped the dose, lol, so I'm taking the break option. Both of those things are very good ideas. Don't, if you don't have one thing that you have your heart set on right now, just try a little bit of something until you find something that you feel like you're cool with working on for the entire hour. Or for the entire couple of hours, actually. And also, yeah, it does sound like you need to reset, Cryptic, so definitely be kind to yourself. Companion Wolf says, scientist falls in love with a person in the simulation he helps maintain. That person is deleted, a new copy with the old one's memories is made, not quite the same, and both struggle with this. Ooh. Sci-fi, MLM, romance, and action mainly. Oh, that is it's kind of like a sci-fi version of a reincarnation fic. Like, one of them is getting reincarnated. Are they the same person? That sounds like it'd be full of angst. I'm here for it. Sin says, my time, not Aiden's. Or if you want really early, go with Itchy's. I think I'll go with your time. I appreciate that, though. I've heard about Aiden's time. I hope that he's listening so that he hears me judge him. Like, I remember you telling me last night about how long he spent playing Battlefield. Yes, I am shaming you, and you're not even in the chat right now. I'm just kidding. I love you all. All of you. My entire extended family. But in any case, it is 8:55. I will talk a little bit about what I'm working on, because hilariously, so I wrote a chapter in 2 days, right? And I finished it on Sunday. But then I was like, something about this doesn't quite feel right. So right now I am revising it and seeing where it goes and if I like it better this way. Sin says halfway, he's raging currently. I am shaming him. Tell him I'm shaming him. Mott says, I need joy in my life, so instead of editing, I really should be doing, I'm writing on something fun. I actually fully encourage that, because sometimes life is hard, and if we have no deadlines with this stuff, or even if we do, sometimes you just need a break, you know? So absolutely, I am here for just writing for the hell of it, and just writing for fun. I swear to God, I'm going to be doing the same thing at some point with Bohemia. I've actually been tossing around that idea, especially given how well it's being received in this pitch event. But basically, since a lot of people want Sherlock Holmes with bees, I might actually start in on it kind of earlier than I had hoped and put TNS on the shelf a little bit. Just a little bit. I promise it won't be like ATB, where I put it on the shelf and completely forgot about it for 3 years. But in any case, yes, to Mott. I highly recommend the idea of just writing something for fun. Definitely do that. Cryptic says, I miss hearing about ATB, to be honest. I kind of miss talking about it. I should really dig it off of the shelf. I know that there were some bits to it that really wouldn't have worked, and I do need to revisit that. I don't know if I'd do a full rewrite. I'm still on the fence about that. But at the very least, if it was going to be a self-published novel, it would have worked. It just needed some bits to be a little bit tighter. But I did like how unique it was, and how cathartic it was to write, because it was essentially about, hey, you are self-isolating. Self-isolation is a bad thing. You will find love and happiness, even if it's platonic love, if you reach out more often. That and just like the entire idea of like sentient library. But I tried to go with TNS to come up with something that people would that was easier to describe, so that my debut could be something that folks can, latch on to, and folks can basically self-advertise or advertise for me. But you can see how well it's going. I love the idea, like I said. I love Mick and Eleanor. But the problem with writing straightforward fantasy is that you have to make it good. So it's rough. But again, like all things, we will get through it. And I refuse to give up on the story until the very last second, even if I have to self-publish and then hear about all the ways that that readers did not care for it in the reviews. Like, I do also apologize if you hear weird noises. Apparently, the cops, ACAB, have been out and about quite frequently this since the blizzard. So hopefully they'll fucking chill out, because whatever's going on out there is, I guarantee, is not that serious. But anyway, I say that terribly. They're probably actually rushing to somebody who's in need of help, considering the fact that we are buried under snow and things are kind of sucking right now. But in any case, but any chance to say ACAB is a chance that I will grab onto with both hands at this point, because fuck you, dipshit X. In any case, it is 9 p.m. We will start with the first of 20 minutes of our 20-minute writing sprint sessions. So, all of you, sit up in your chairs, take a deep breath in, and out slowly. One more time. And back out. Now that we're all relaxed, 20 minutes are on the clock. Get ready, get set, and here we go. is the first of 3 sprints done. How did we do? Now, I admit that I did some editing. Some of this was salvageable. But, that having been said, 721 words. That is a mixture of new and old. But how did all of you do? Wrote a quick description of Alchemist as a class for the TTRPG I want to make for my world. Do tell. If it's going to be as fun as the Paladins, I am very eager to hear about this. Mott says, 243 words, all new for sprint, is for waking my brain up. LOL. Totally heard about that one. First sprint is always going to... First sprints tend to be a little bit of a warm-up for me too, but that having been said, 243 is really good for a warm-up. Cryptic said also started trying to make the God of Fate in Hero Forge, but well, I'm not sure I'm going to quite get what I'm looking to do. Totally understandable. I tried making I got back into Hero Forge myself, and it's kind of like hit or miss. So, first off, Companion Wolf says making progress, making character profiles and arc summaries. I'll get into Hero Forge in just a moment, but Cryptic says, haha, I don't think it's as fun as the Paladins, but if you've ever seen that Skyrim comic of the guy eating the plant and going, this would make a great poison, that's kind of the vibe, lol. I've not seen that comic, but I think that's fucking hilarious. I mean, it also kind of, like, is true to real life in some kind of ways, because, like, you have to wonder, how did people find out about some of the shit that herbs do? You know? Like, who first ingested Datura and was like, you know, this would make an amazing poison, or amazing, God knows what else. I don't even want to say anything. But, it's not like we're getting monetized anyway, but still, don't go looking that shit up, if you don't know what I'm talking about. It is fucking horrific. But there are some things that nature, plants and other things in nature, they're either, you would never think that they're edible, or you would think that they're edible, but they're very much not, or it's some kind of fun mix. Like, you know, did you know that of the tomato plant, only the tomato is not fucking lethal to people? Like, anything else on the tomato plant, you will fucking die. Same thing with eggplants, and I do believe potatoes. Now, potatoes do it for a different reason, but eggplants and tomatoes are in the same family, which is the nightshade family. And nightshades, if you aren't goth enough to have heard about this, nightshades will fucking kill you. But tomatoes and eggplants fucking delicious, man. Or at least eggplants are once you cook them properly. Do not try to eat raw eggplant. You will have a bad time. Like, it doesn't even taste good, and it fucks up your stomach. So, like, make sure that shit is cooked, my dudes. But, Cryptic says, yep. But yeah, that is my PSA for the day. Also, I will say this also, if you are looking for recommendations for fun things to look up in terms of herbalism, there's a YouTuber slash Instagrammer called the Black Forager. I think her username is actually just Black Forager. And she is fantastic. she does little segments on native plants, especially to North America, and she goes over what's edible, what you can do with them, how to use them in some cases, and she is so bubbly and very knowledgeable. So it's like it's very fun to watch her. Sometimes she'll also do these segments called "Which is Poison and Which is a Snack," where she'll have two plants that look very close to each other, and she will tell you one of them, do not eat it, it will make your stomach unhappy, and the other one is perfectly fine. And these are just plants that you find wherever. Like, there was this one clip where she went to Los Angeles for, like, I think it was like either the YouTuber or TikToker awards. There's some kind of awards for one of those groups. She went there for those awards because that's how cool she is, and she was out in front of the hedges, the decorative hedges outside of where the award ceremony was taking place, and she picked off the berries, and she was like, these are perfectly edible, and nobody knows that they're perfectly edible because this is an ornamental plant. So you can literally find food everywhere, as it turns out, especially in North America. I say especially in North America because if you go overseas, like some places are famous for having just ornamental plants and of otherwise edible varieties. Like, do not go to Barcelona and eat the oranges off the trees, apparently. uh, or actually, I think those are still edible, but they're not actually just used for raw eating. You actually have to use them for something else. But I can't remember what that is. I think it's just like sauces and garnishes. Don't eat them raw, in other words. But in any case, I did mention that I was going to go off into Spiracy. Mott the Paladin says the red part of rhubarb being the edible part is funny to me also. Rhubarb in general is hilarious. But yes, the rhubarb is fine. Rhubarb leaves are fucking poisonous. Contrary to what apparently World War II era cookbooks in the United Kingdom will have you believe. Uh, it's kind of funny because there was this one person way back when who wrote cookbooks. I think it was actually during the First World War, but then the British government dug up her fucking cookbooks and reissued them as like, hey, here are ways that you can save money and resources during the wartime. And the problem with this woman was that she didn't fucking know what she was doing. So she just wrote recipes and didn't fact check them. I don't know where she found her information and how she I can't remember how she found her information and how she managed to put together recipes that she didn't fucking test. But she would like do things like tell you to make a nice salad out of the rhubarb greens, and it's like that is how you fucking poison your entire family. Do not do that. But that having been said, if you have ever looked up videos of rhubarb growing, it is weirdly the most relaxing thing in the world, but also the most unnerving because, first off, they grow under very specific conditions. I can't remember if it's complete darkness or if there's like one little bit of light, but either way, the farmers managed to speed it up. So there are actual audio clips where you can hear the rhubarb growing, and it's like completely dark. So I guess it is completely dark, and all you hear are these like popping sounds because the rhubarb is growing far faster than it should be natural. Yet it's completely natural. The farmers just trick it into going through a hyperactive growth cycle. It's just popping and crunching in complete darkness. And now you understand why I'm saying that's ASMR, but also ASMR from hell. But anyway, So yeah, with Hero Forge, I guess the story is that I tried to make a bee person in Hero Forge because of course I did. And I don't know why you can't control how big the mandibles are. So it's sort of like I have a very cute little bee person running around, or for that matter actually, why you can't control the thickness of the antennae. So instead of having my cute little Zizun, as I usually do, with tiny little mandibles that I don't often draw because they're supposed to be kind of mostly hidden most of the time, instead of those and those tiny little mandibles and wispy little antennae, I have Chunky. And it's not bad. It's still very cute for a bug person, in my opinion. But it's like you can customize anything on humanoid figures. Why I can make my humanoid figures have huge ass boobs. I can't have my bugs have cuter faces, and this makes me feel a little bit upset. But yes, Cryptic says, I think a lot of the parts you can't control are because they want to make sure you don't make it unprintable by accident, since that's the intended purpose of it. Still kind of sucks though. I mean, I get that, but at the same time, it's like, why do they have to be huge as fuck? Or alternatively, I guess I can print it and then I will sand it the fuck down because, like, my bug people deserve to have cute little features. That's all I have to say. Give the bugs cute little features. On the other hand, I do like the idea that I describe them as cutely as possible, but they're actually unnerving. I actually posted a little snip for Blue Sky recently. It's a bit too long for me. Well, actually, I don't know. Maybe I can. There are just over 3 minutes here, but let's see if I can find it. Oh, yes, actually, it's right here. So I described the Zizun very cutely, and then here's a little excerpt. I posted this to Blue Sky recently, but Mick glanced back from nearly 10 stalls away. People passed the Zizun as if their stall was invisible. Some elves even crossed the aisle and made a show out of their interest in Gnome's crates of leeks. The Zizun hardly noticed, it seemed. Newsboy even had one of the sunflower heads in his hands as he nibbled at the petals, raw, with a pair of mandibles that stuck out from somewhere beneath his chin. The other two signed rapidly to each other, seemingly ignoring Newsboy. So that's the paragraph. And the context is that a sunflower is a monster. So it is basically a slightly creepier sunflora, or a sunflora that whose face you can't normally see. So somebody pointed out, I think I can understand why people don't want to associate with the Zizun. If there's this absolute gremlin gnawing on the head of a decapitated monster, I was like, oh yeah, that would probably do it. But yeah, I do want them to be very cute, but also very unnerving, like real bees are. They are so adorable, but also they will swarm and kill you if they feel like it. And they also do very kind of unnerving things, like kill their own queens and gnaw the wings off of their drunk sisters or their brothers when it's out of season for mating. It's kind of metal, but they're also these cuties that will bump into each other when they fly and will seek out warmth under your sleeves and do all kinds of other cute things. I don't know. So that is my story. But anyway, less than 15 seconds left in the break. So if you haven't gone back to your docs, get back to your docs. I will probably be spending the first part of this sprint making chamomile tea because we are just a couple sprints away from bedtime. In any case, 20 minutes. Good luck. that is sprint number 2. How did we do? Let me just roll back and see where I was. I think I was right there. So 469 plus an additional 31, so we're talking about 490 some, which is not bad. I did finish chapter 11, for reals this time, so that is exciting. And we'll be moving on to chapter 12, which is setting up for the St. Nadia part. So yay all around. And meanwhile, I have almost finished making my tea. It has been sitting here brewing for a bit, so you will hear some odd noises as I go and retrieve it. There we go. Oh, here we go. Cryptic says, gave up on making Fate in Hero Forge and then just kinda zoned out for the rest of the time. That's understandable. I'm sorry that it has not been a productive sprint. Hopefully the last sprint will be a little bit more productive, or alternatively, you could just be hitting your wall for the evening, which is totally understandable too. Whatever works for you. Let's see. Sorry, I just had to kind of glance up at certain things. Cryptic says, gonna have to feed the cats in a couple of minutes, but I will have my headphones on, but I'm not going to be able to type. Totally understandable. Companion Wolf says, making sort of progress. I can't figure out if the arc's character details I have actually align with the story I want to tell. But I need these character things nailed down. They inform the plot, not the other way around. Totally 100% understandable. That is part of the frustration of planning. So, and sometimes, like, if you change one thing later on, you end up changing a whole bunch of things. So I can totally understand just sort of taking your time with it and whatnot. So, 100%. I wish you the best of luck with sorting it out, though. So, hopefully it will get a little bit easier to plot as you go on. Mott says 284, almost done fixing this chapter, missing connecting scenes because I was excited. Totally cool. I am also delighted because you are excited about a thing and you got swept up into it, and I do love that feeling. That is my absolute favorite feeling that you can possibly have with writing. I actually mentioned this in the last stream that we had, the one back on Saturday. It's just when you hit that perfect stride and you just keep on going and you lose track of time, it just feels so rewarding at the end. Whereas there are times whenever it feels like writing is pulling teeth. Those are my least favorite parts. So I feel like whenever I hit that nice stride, it's almost like, this is worth doing, you know? That feeling is the reason to, Mott says, that feeling is the reason to write IML. Absolutely. Actually, I believe that 100%, and I believe that above writing something for other people. Like, there's that entire thing where it's like, you write for, what was it? You write for yourself, but you edit for other people and you publish for other people or something like that. Sure, there's that, but like, in general, it's like, when you have to spend months crafting something, it's best if you have fun with it. And that's true of all art, and I feel like art is best done when it's speaking from some part of yourself. So it's true with writing as well, although writing tends to be very, I feel it tends to be a lot more commercial than, say, anything that, or say visual art, because like with visual art, sure, there's obviously commercial films and commercial art and things like that, but like whenever somebody says art, and they're talking about visual mediums, you're talking about you tend to think about things that express part of the artist being, like whether that's their political opinions or their day-to-day life, their way of viewing the world, that kind of thing. But when you talk about writing, it always tends to, it's so weird, but like writing communities tend to talk about writing as if it's either a chore or something marketable. I don't know, like there are people who will be like, yeah, I'm writing this for me 100%, but like they'll talk about their writing as if they're marketing it, you know? But it really is that writing is an art too, and writing is best done when you feel part of it too. Like you feel that the words are flowing, you're enjoying yourself, or it feels cathartic to do. You're expressing some bit of who you are. But yeah, I keep on babbling about this, but I just love writing whenever it's done as an art and approached as an art. And I feel like that's why I keep on falling out of love with a lot of my works. That's why I need to finish TNS once and for all and just not even give it to readers, just sort of like push it out into the world, or at least give it to an editor at most. But the more that I give it to other people, the more it becomes something that I need to tailor to them rather than something that I'm just having fun building myself. So this is next draft is basically fuck it and fuck everybody. I'm just doing what I want. I will take into consideration a lot of what was said, but this is its final form. There are going to be bees, there are going to be dragons, there's going to be politics, and there's going to be Mick doing trickster god things with Eleanor, who is going to be an enabler the entire way, and y'all are going to eventually like it. Or at least if you don't like it, then you can, I don't know, get a refund for it. I don't even care. But it's going to be something I just have fun with in the end of the day, one way or another, even though this part is like pulling teeth. But anyway, I have my tea now. I'm slowly winding down. I'm trying to encourage myself to wind down and just relax in general. It's like I said at the beginning of the stream, like a lot of the things I've been worried about are not things I should be worried about. And the more that I embrace that, the easier it will be to move forward and to be able to heal, essentially. And some things are beyond my control. Like I could not control the physical pain that I was feeling over the weekend. Although I will have to bring that up to my doctor at some point and let him know that I have actually had disruptive. I mean, if it happens again, I'm keeping an eye on myself. And if it goes on for cycle number 3, then I'm going to have words. But the things that other things, you know, I worry so much about everything because it's just me out here, and I've had conversations about getting back into it. Ultimately, I want to find somebody who's cool with Benjamin, because I feel like number one, that's going to be like the ultimate litmus test. Hey, are you going to want to date a fully grown adult who has a bee plush that they carry around everywhere and that they sometimes talk to? If you're not cool with that, If your first instinct is to see if you can throw the bee plush away, then you are a whole ass person that I will be throwing away. But the bee plush is non-negotiable. The bee plush is going to be my surrogate pet for the foreseeable future. But other than that, you know, I kind of do want to get back into it at some point, because as much as I love the bee plush and as much as talking to the bee plush is helpful, the bee plush, I say as the bee plush is sitting next to me, although if Benjamin had thoughts, then Benjamin would agree with this, and Benjamin would encourage me to say this, then bee plush would be no substitute for human contact. Sin says, even better would be finding someone who also has an emotional support, squishy, stuffy. That is very true, and then we can go and take our emotional support, squishies and stuffies to places like the museum and other places. And just, in general, be cool and weird together, you know? And I feel like that might have been one thing that I probably should have not settled for. Like, the ex was nice, but he was also very judgmental. He would call the YouTube videos I like to watch the weird YouTube videos and stuff like that, and kind of judge the people that I watch, judge a lot of my interests and whatnot, and not kind of take interest in that. Don't settle for a dude who does that, by the way. Just as a side PSA. But yeah, I think as I'm getting into spring, I've got a list of things that I'm going to have to work on. Therapy is definitely one of them. Cleaning myself up is another one. Actually getting out there, now that I feel a little bit like I want to do it, rather than I'm not ready to do it. I'm still not ready completely. I feel like there's a lot that needs to be improved. But, like, it's harder. And I'd hate to admit it, because being Airways is completely valid. Unfortunately, I am not Airways, so sometimes you just kind of need people. You need people at least to be roommates with, or to just be long-term friends with, who are right there with you and can talk you out of weird stuff that you have, or weird thoughts that you have to yourself at random o'clock. But yeah, I will keep y'all updated on how that goes. That is very personal, I do admit. But that's what these rambles are for anyway. But in any case, I think the point that I was trying to make is that I think I kind of went through a breakthrough today where it's sort of like a lot of the problems that I thought were problems this past weekend were just kind of like all in my head, or I didn't realize that they weren't actually problems, so hopefully things get better, is what I'm saying. Sin says, weird is what makes you unique. Aww. People who aren't weird or lack quirks are usually pretty boring and shallow. Regardless, the right people will accept your weirdness and allow you to see theirs. Aww. I hope so. And you're right. People who are not weird are usually just like the least interesting people to talk to. They don't do anything, I've noticed. Or they do things, but it's sort of like what you regard as boring adult stuff. The same things all the time, so. But in any case, I don't mean to be judgmental towards them. However folks are happiest to live their lives is what makes them happy. But there's nothing wrong with being weird either. I guess the main thing is. But in any case, 15 seconds before our last break, and then afterwards I will Sin says mundane activities, basically. But yes, 20 minutes are on this next clock, And then at the very end, we will talk about schedules and whatnot. One last thing though, Cryptic says they either don't do anything or suppress literally everything about themselves to the point that it loops back around to being weird. I'm thinking about the dipshit X again, and yeah. Anyway, less than 20 minutes are on the clock. Have fun writing. Good luck. I will see you in after this next sprint. that is the last of the sprints. How did we do? Let's see. 489 new words, which again is not that bad considering the fact that it was mostly setting description and dressing and time gap jumping, which is all not my favorite thing. So I am saying I'm proud of myself right now. But yeah, I will. We are at the cusp of Mick going, oh shit, my partner is not in this room, and this is a city full of people who would love to kill her. What do? So it's going to be an interesting little bit. Downside is work is going to be hell for the next 2 days, so this is probably not going to be touched until Saturday morning, and even then, yay! Cryptic says, I mostly did nothing, but then I realized that the toothpicks I have down here in my desk are the perfect size to dig some gunk out of the little seams of my mouse. I mean, I did say that word sprints can be used for anything so long as it improves your life. And that is a life improvement. I am so glad that you're finally able to clean your mouse. I should not be judgmental though, because okay, so fun story, I am mildly allergic to dust. And part of the reason why I was kind of freaking out about the radiator, other than the fact that it's dripping, is because I kind of I thought it might be mold, but the more that I'm thinking about it, the more I'm like, when was the last time I've dusted my room? And I do this to myself all the fucking time. I forget that I'm allergic to dust. Like, respiratory, I will actually have a reaction. I am actually sitting here playing with dust and sort of dusting off my desk, and I'm having the same reaction as I do in my bedroom, and I'm like, gee, Jax, I wonder why. It might be because you need to fucking vacuum once in a while, isn't it? But anyway, that goes into the entire self-care is important, ladies and gentlemen, and others. And I have decided that I'm going to make it my belated New Year's resolution to take better care of myself. It's starting with the little things. I feel like I'll be a lot happier once I clean the apartment and also start putting the shit that the ex left me up on marketplaces and stuff. Does anybody want a whole bunch of shit? Like, I have a TV to sell off, I have Final Fantasy figurines to sell off, I have an intact copy of Stardew Valley, the Stardew Valley OST on vinyl. I appreciate the sentiment, dipshit, but we never had a record player. And also, I'm just selling off gifts even if I kind of like them, just to get rid of them and start over, because that is healthy. But I'm so sorry about making that about me. I'm just saying that taking care of yourselves is important, and that is also literally why I say if you want to use these word sprints to actually take care of yourself, please do. Go and make your life a little bit better. And it's okay to take a break from writing and from work. Get up and finally fold the fucking clothes that have been sitting on your bed for more than a week. Also something that I need to do. But in any case, Mott says 231, yay, this chapter theoretically makes total sense now. I am so delighted that you are a little bit further. I am so delighted that it's finally coming together for you. It's also a project that you have been having fun with, so I applaud this wholeheartedly. Hells yes. I hope you continue after this too. I'm going to skip quick tips for 1 second and say Companion Wolf says I got ready to go to bed, so now I sleep. Good night. Good night, Companion Wolf. I promise I will get to the schedule in a moment. But Cryptic says, oh wow, I don't really have money now, or ever really, lol, but I would absolutely buy the Stardew vinyl if I could, because I do have a record player. If you can put a pin on that, like, if you can cover shipping, we might have something here. Because it would be nice for it to go to a good home, but and as much as I like it and I'm curious about listening to it on vinyl, at the same time, again, anything that the X gave me that I can replace or that I don't need, I have to get rid of, and it's going to have to be a purge. It's going to have to start soon. So if you're a good home, then put a pin on that and we'll talk. I'm not quite ready to ship things out yet because not because I'm not emotionally ready, but more because the UPS store, the only thing that I can ship things from is down a mountain that's kind of snowed in right now. But give it a couple of months and we can talk. But anyway, let me talk about schedules. So, this Saturday, technically I have work, but I'm still going to run another stream. We've just mentioned that tomorrow and Friday are going to be fucking hell. And they are. I am basically going to be working from 9 until ungodly hours tomorrow. So, we are definitely not doing a special stream. The next stream, therefore, will be the morning of the 21st from 8:30 in the morning until whenever. I will be working at the same time. We will figure it out. Hopefully it won't be super long. Then after that, I will, let's see, the next week will be the first week of March. I am working a little bit of overtime every single day, but I'm still going to make time for doing things in the evening. And hopefully I will feel a little bit more like a human being to be able to do things in the evening. So the next night rights, we will say, is March 4th. And that will be from 8:30 p.m. to whenever. I do not plan on having any special streams on Sunday. I'm going to take some time to recover. Actually recover. Sleep in a little bit if I need to, but I'm out of bed by noon, and I'm going to enjoy the day and do adulting things, and maybe try to find a way to go out and socialize with other people if they're up for it, and if it's not going to be nightmarish in terms of weather. Because apparently I just feel very cooped up right now, and a lot of bad shit has happened between the last time I've seen people face to face that weren't delivering things to me and now. So I feel, or people who weren't delivering things to me or the doctor and now. So I feel like I do need to socialize a little bit. So no special stream Sunday, none on Monday or Tuesday either, because I kind of do want to have some days to myself. Then night rights on the 25th, and then night rights on the 4th, and then we will just start the cycle all over again, and we'll see what happens. If you got all that, excellent. The short form is stream again on the 28th. That is the last day of the month, and we're doing that in the morning. Then stream at night on the 4th, and then fun time shall be had by all. Hopefully I'll feel a little bit more like a human being, and hopefully all this snow shenanigans will stop. Like, I'm glad that winter has come to New York and New Jersey and the tri-state area in general. I would like it to go away now. And preferably go away in a way that does not bring on like storms, so that I can go out and I can enjoy the sunlight and I can go take Benjamin to places and go be social and generally just like enjoy warmer weather and not have to worry about, having to coop myself up and whatnot. But we will survive it, as we always do. Cryptic says, I'll have to remember that because this month's money is all going towards the con we're going to, and I only get paid at the end of the month, so the soonest I could maybe pay shipping would be the end of March. Oh, should have let you finish, LOL. But yeah, Probably I won't be ready to sell things off until spring. What I want to do first is I want to take an inventory of everything that I have that is his or was gifted to me by him. Maybe some other things on the side that I kind of want to get rid of anyway. And I need to do some research into fair prices and then post ads everywhere, see if anybody's interested in getting stuff for free. And if not, just like, if they would be willing to pay money for things. But that is a bridge we will cross when we come to it. In the meantime, it is currently 10:40, so I do have to hit be an adult at some point. So I'm going to wrap this up. But that having been said, thank you all for coming. Thank you all for being here and being awesome and encouraging me to keep on writing. And also doing awesomely yourselves too. Like, I'm sorry for making that about me. Like, these are just about as much as about you as it is about me. We're all here together. We are all here and vibing at night, and we are all just chill. One chill family. I am proud of all of your accomplishments, whether it's writing or cleaning the mouse or what have you. I am always proud of you, and I always love y'all. But for serious, thank you for coming and being a part of this. I will see you on Saturday, hopefully. Good night, everybody.